Coach Whittingham always prepares his teams well for bowl games, and sometimes you feel this sense of the coaches having to push the guys and trying to get them excited for a bowl game because the season's over and you've kind of lost your steam. I don't feel any of that right now. You don't need to push us harder to prepare for the Rose Bowl because everybody is focused and excited, and we're playing Ohio State. What a great program to play against and to finish the year against. And so we don't even need any extra motivation or extra pushing because you feel it from the guys.
And Dana, we said it before, but it's almost time to smell the roses.
It sure is. They smell pretty sweet, don't they? For the first time ever, Utah's going to be in the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl, New Year's Day against Ohio State. Now, the Utes are done celebrating their Pac-12 title and are now preparing for the biggest game of their lives.
The preparation so far, we're just a little over halfway through our preparation as far as the number of practices, and it's been outstanding to this point. This team is very driven, and there's a feeling of putting an exclamation point on the season. Regardless of what happens in this game, this season has been a huge success for our young men and what they've accomplished.
And we've got a group of guys that are going out, including me, in my last game, and pretty emotional about it. But because of that, it's made me more focused than ever for this last game because I want to go out on a win.
The Rose Bowl, it is almost here. And living in LA, I can already feel the Utah fans in droves. I'm in Southern California for the first time for this historic game. It is a spectacular season that Utah has had. Think of everything they've gone through. Starting 1-2, making a change at the quarterback position, and then coming together to put together an incredible run and win the Pac-12 Championship for the first time in their program's history.
We're going to have a lot of Utah fans there. It's going to be loud. Was it like 100,000 in there or something like that? But man, I'm excited for that energy that's going to be in that stadium on January 1st.
My imagination immediately goes to what it felt like in Allegiant Stadium.
I'm going to drink everything in.
Definitely something I'm going to take in then, take in the moment, enjoy it.
As I walk onto that field, I'm going to just soak it in. I'm going to just soak it in, look around, and just smile.
I heard nothing but U fans screaming. It felt like a home game. I think it'll feel something like that from what I'm hearing.
It should be turn, man. We're going to do this for 22 like we've been doing this whole season.
What do you imagine that's going to feel like?
Well, I imagine we look out and there's all red because, Ohio State, but I feel like all that red will be Utah,
Awesome.
I think everyone loves bowl season if you love football, but it will be fun.
I know it's going to be emotional for me, being the last time that I'm going to strap up, with Utah logo on my chest and on my helmet. And last time I'm going to be playing with this guy and everybody on the team. No tears promised, but who knows, they might just surprise me. But I know it's definitely going to be emotional, but at the same time, I'm going to be so excited, really, ready to play, honestly, because these are the games you dream of playing in. And obviously it sounded like it's going to be the majority of Utah fans, so I'm excited for that.
It'll feel somewhat surreal at the same time because all of the hard work that we've, and all the things that we've done, that we've been through, all the things that we've done, like all of our goals will be in front of us.
Yeah, it's just a weird feeling. It doesn't feel real, just like it doesn't feel like we're at the Rose Bowl, so I guess we'll see how it is on game day.
And that's what makes a great football team. One of the main components is players owning, taking charge, making sure things are as they should be in the locker room and everywhere else. Because coaches can only do so much. I'm telling you. Football teams, great football teams, will play a driven, and that's exactly what this team was. So thank you. I know I'm speaking for the entire coaching staff when I say that. And now it culminates with the Rose Bowl. We've been talking about that since January, way back then. And here we are. Here we are. I don't know how many of you guys, I think most of the teams saw that documentary that they put on game day, Ty and Aaron. Every time I hear about those two guys, I think about them, I get tears. Let's play our ass off. Let's play our ass off. Play our best football, and play as hard as we can play. That's all we would ask. Play our best football, play as hard as we can play.
Good afternoon and welcome to Pasadena, California and the Rose Bowl for the 108th Rose Bowl between the University of Utah and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Happy New Year and welcome in on 1/1/22.
I'm really just excited to dedicate this last game to everybody who's helped me get to this point.
We're really, really hungry. We're starving actually, and we're trying to make history, and we're so excited.
A lot of times I don't let myself indulge in the moment because I want to stay focused on the task at hand, but that's my last game in a Utah uniform, and I'm gonna be sentimental about it. I'm gonna cherish it and remember every little thing that I'm feeling. Walk out there and just feel everything, feel every little emotion.
I just have the respect for the great athletes and coaches that walked across that field, and all the men that coached on that field. And to be in that stadium was so, it was humbling. It was such an honor. And then we got excited because now the game was to be played.
The sun is shining in Salt Lake City. Pac-12 football in the Wasatch Mountains. Final day of the season for these two schools. They're both fired up and ready. We've got the Washington State Cougars, and we have got the Utah Utes.
Get this done. All right, get it done.
That game was the first game that we had fans there. I think we only had like 500 fans, but it felt like Rice Eccles had 40,000 because that's what it felt like after not having played in front of fans for a long time. So.
Good morning, Utah fans, and welcome into beautiful Rice Eccles Stadium on a late Saturday in December. A perfect day for football.
He's got a chance. He's in. Touchdown, Washington State. Welcome back, Max. McIntosh, the deep back. McIntosh breaks that first wall. Touchdown, Washington State.
That 2020 season was a lot. It was interesting, tough at times. New, not playing in front of people. It was just an interesting season. But that last game, Washington State, yeah, I do remember being down.
A bunch of time on the play clock. I'm actually a bit surprised that Washington State snapped that ball as quickly as they did. It works, and it's another score for Washington State.
Do you remember that game? I remember it vividly. I remember how upset I was at halftime. That was a halftime to not remember.
Actually, don't look so bad right now. 7 of 14 throwing the football. Oh, terrible pass! It's picked off. Here comes Washington State. Point-blank range here for Washington State. Keeper DeLora. Touchdown! Cougars! 2 touchdowns in a 20-second window.
I mean, way down at halftime. We weren't just down. It was, I think it was 28-7 or something of that nature.
First half of play. So far, so good for Wazoo. Now we send it back to the studio.
The conversations that we had with our guys at halftime, that was not fun at all. To go through what we went through, to tell them, listen, this was an unacceptable performance in the first half.
We'd given up a bunch of points on defense, and we were just not playing great team football.
I think we kind of went in the locker room and it was just like a matter of like when, just knowing we were going to win that game.
No concern or no worry. You know, I felt like everybody on defensively was pretty even keel. Like, we understood where we were sitting, but we also knew how to get out of it.
Now, don't give up on the Utes just yet. They're going to have the football to begin our second half.
You know, at halftime, I think when we were down 21 at one point in the game, and like all of a sudden, you know, the tables turned.
Came out in the second half with a lot of resolve and purpose, and Ty Jordan took control of the game.
But not where he was in the last couple of games. Trying to get that running game going. This is Jordan, spins out of a tackle, looking to go down to the 35.
Some of his footwork on those plays was just unbelievable, and it just showed what raw talent Ty had.
The line of scrimmage or in the backfield, these offensive linemen get. And you talk about his size, his speed, his quickness, and toughness. He has all those things. He checks all those boxes. And we saw it all in that one play.
That dude was like, he was a firework on the field. Like, at any moment, he could pop, like, and he did. And when we needed him most, like, he just made splash plays. And, you know, in that game, he went off.
Barrels his tailback in the game. He's got it. Jordan! Touchdown!
And then Ty Jordan takes it right up the gut.
Jordan has the first down, and maybe a touchdown! Ty Jordan! This kid's a stud.
I remember just watching Ty Jordan go. That was fun, being able to see him progress and just grow as a player all year. That was really fun to watch. Just, you could tell that he was something special. Just watching each and every game, each and every practice, you could see it.
Touchdown! Ty Jordan! And Utah takes the lead.
And then watch all the little moves. The little move right there. Oh, right there. I love that little sidestep. And then the little pirouette, stay on my feet, get that ball in the end zone.
He's a big play guy. You know, when he was in the open, no one was going to catch him, and he got out in the open 2 or 3 times in that game, and really just put the team on his back. And
You're not going to see this maybe ever again. In the second half, they outscore Washington State. Wow, 38-0.
Wow, and it was just
It was an amazing story, that whole storyline of coming back, you know, Drew Lisk coming in, Ty Jordan going off. It was just an amazing storyline.
Player of the game, game ball, Ty Jordan.
All right, bet, Sam. I appreciate this so much. I appreciate all these things, but I couldn't do this without my mom, so I'm going to take it home. All right, sir.
Man, did they show up in that second half. It was fun to watch, and it was fun to watch Ty do what he did and what we knew he could do.
When he was on his recruiting visit, I told him that you can come here and we're gonna win the Pac, and we're gonna go to the Rose Bowl and do a lot of great things together. And I just thought that all that was coming to fruition, and you could see it just developing right after, especially right after that Washington State game.
So I still remember fall camp 2020. I went to dinner with my dad and mom, and I told my dad, I said, Ty Jordan is the best football player that I've ever played with. You could have put him at any position on the field and he would have done it. We put him at receiver a couple times, and he was a better receiver than I was. We put him at running back. You could have put him at tight end, and he was strong enough to block someone.
You wouldn't expect it. You know, like, everyone probably looked past him because of his size, but man, there's a lot of power behind that, you know, that man right there. So.
Hey, Utah, hey! Hey, Utah. I don't know it. You're fine, you're fine.
Everything you talk about with Ty being that happy, bright moment in the Wazoo game, that was just Ty as a person. That was him from the moment he got here, who he was in practice, who he was around the locker room, the office.
Like, that dude always found a way to, like, make you feel good. I remember, like, especially in that Wazoo game. So in that Wazoo game, I had a pick 6. First dude ran over and said something was him, you know. He was like, yeah, boy, you looking like my son out there scoring touchdowns. Like, he was just so hyped, and I could see it all over his face. I couldn't help but smile. I was out of breath. I was tired, but just feeling his energy, you know, kind of immediately just kind of had me live. I was like, wow, this dude really cares. He was more hyped than I was, and I was the one that scored, you know. But that's just the type of dude Ty was.
Sports fans across Utah are shocked today after the death of 19-year-old rising star Ty Jordan. Jordan was a freshman running back at the University of Utah and made a big impact in just 5 games played.
A week ago at this time, we were all feeling some real hope and optimism for the Utah football season, coming off 3 consecutive wins. There was a lot of reasons to be very hopeful, and maybe one of the biggest and brightest reasons was the play of freshman running back Ty Jordan. Of course, a lot of that changed on Christmas night with the news of the untimely death of Ty Jordan, the accidental gunshot which took his life.
Friends and peers of a former West Mesquite High School player are remembering him following his death on Christmas Day.
It is so sad, and it is so tragic, and I feel so bad for his family. And it's just, there are no words, man. And I make a living talking.
Just, just the salt of the earth type kid.
As a coach, you are completely aware that those phone calls that come in on the wee hours of the morning are never good. It's never a good thing. And it was Coach McDonald, our running back coach, Kyle McDonald, who phoned me and informed me that Ty was no longer with us. And was in a state of shock, couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was numb, instantly went numb, and it just was awful. Just one of the toughest things I've ever been through in my entire life.
It was the day after Christmas, and I remember just waking up pretty early. It was like 7 o'clock, and just my dad came into my room.
I remember waking up to my phone vibrating, and it was a call. And you never want to answer the phone when you just wake up, so I just, you know, I clicked out of it, and I saw that I had probably 100 messages and 10 missed calls. And right when I saw that, I knew something was up. You know, you see that on your phone, you know something's wrong.
I couldn't believe it, you know. I know if it was coming from my dad, it's probably a pretty good source, and I was just like, no way. Like I had to go look online. I had to go see everything. I just remember my heart dropping, like this isn't real. This has to be fake.
Then I get a call from Aaron Lowe, you know, who was Ty's big bro, probably his best friend, and he called me and he said, yeah, boy, it's true.
I mean, it was really just gut-wrenching, honestly. Like, that's news you never want to hear, especially around that time of year. And then, I mean, I heard it from my coaches first and talked to some players on the team, and then all of a sudden you see it on national TV, on news, and I mean, you just realize, like, I mean, he's really gone, and I mean, it's gut-wrenching. Like, it's just something that you never want to go through.
I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what to think, obviously, and it was really hard. I had my wife there with me, just cried a lot that day.
I think like most of us, we kind of just broke down.
It still to this day doesn't feel real, just remembering that day. And yeah, just being crushed really in that moment. Yeah, still doesn't feel real. It's crazy to think about.
I remember like I wanted to text him, like wish him Merry Christmas like the day before, and I regret never doing that. So that's something that I've tried to do with everyone I love and like people close to me, is just keep them and let them know like that I appreciate them.
I was at home. I remember what I was doing. I was just laying down, just literally just relaxing. And I get a phone call from Aaron Lowe. Aaron called me. And he told me, he said, Coach, Ty is dead. And I said, son, wait a minute, hold on. What did you say? He said, Coach, Ty's dead. I said, I gotta go, I'm gonna call Coach Mack. Coach Mack then called. He said, Reef, this is true. At that point, you just go a little bit numb. And things slow down in a way that you don't want them to. Get just a little bit weak. I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget the person who conveyed that to me.
It hit us all in a way that made things very real. You could, any day could be your day to go. And how are you going to handle that? When it's presented to you in a way that, okay, man, it hits very, very close to home when it's one of your own. And now, how are we going to handle going forward when you don't have them in your drills? When you're used to having him next to you in the locker room, right? And so it took a tremendous amount of leadership, not only with the coaching staff, but with the players, to say, okay, here's how we're going to honor his legacy, here's how we're going to move forward, and we're not going to let his legacy die, right? He's gone, but we're going to move forward in a way that honors him.